Yes?
Samuel Gordon, please let me in, Doctor. I need to speak to you.
Yes, come in. I am downstairs, in the mall.
Mr. Gordon, to what do I owe your visit today?
Good afternoon, Doctor. I have come to ask you about something.
Oh, would you believe that does not actually surprise me? In fact, I sensed that you would show up. You have come because of that poor boy, correct?
Yes, mainly.
So, what do you want to know?
I spoke with Collier about that boy. We were standing at the place where it happened. He didn't tell me much, other than the boy was killed by wolves.
Yes, that was the original theory. The wounds were suggestive of an animal's assault. After a closer analysis, however, I can safely reject that possibility.
So you have a different opinion?
Yes, I have. The cause of death was severe blood loss and critical injuries of numerous organs. No animal living in these lands would be capable of doing this. Not injuries like these.
What about an entire pack of wolves?
The signs on the body are clear. No traces of sharp teeth bites, nothing like that.
So do you have a possible explanation?
I do not exactly know yet, but the boy was certainly not killed by wolves or any other animal. Of that, I'm positive.
Tell me, when did you last see Robert?
Some 3 days ago, I think. If you are looking for him, it is best to call the sanatorium. He is there constantly.
No one has seen him in a while, and Victoria is becoming worried. I just wondered whether he had been here lately.
Oh, he has not been here for quite some time. But then again, there is no purpose to his visit as far as I can tell. The last time I saw him was after William's funeral, and not since.
If you hear anything about him, please let us know.
Certainly.
Dr. Herman?
Yes?
Have you found out anything new regarding that strange thing you told me about?
Do you mean Henry's body? No, I have not. I need much more time for that.
I have nothing. I don't envy. I don't... We have said everything. Have you got a moment?
Leave me alone. I don't want any company.
Maybe I'll have something later. I'm not hungry.
There's a letter in it. Maybe Bates forgot to pick it up. I'll take it.
Dear Father, hopefully it will be your hands that my letter reaches first.
I cannot endure staying locked away in this horrible place. Therefore, I have decided to do what I should have done a long time ago. I will explain everything when we meet at our place. I know that you will understand. James.
Father, so James is William's son. Why didn't Victoria tell me when we spoke before?
May I speak with you for a while, Victoria?
Of course, Samuel.
I'm concerned about Robert.
I appreciate your concern. I spoke with the sanatorium's head nurse a few minutes ago. She had no news of him whatsoever. I'm worried, Samuel. Something strange is going on. I fear something may have happened to him.
I'm sure Robert will manage.
Do not underestimate this, Samuel. He is my oldest son, and then I have no one left but you.
I'm quite sure nothing has happened to him. Everything will get sorted out soon.
I hope you are right. I cannot wait in uncertainty any longer. We must do something. I would like you to go to Ashbury to find out what happened. Here we wait in darkness, and I have no one else that can go. Will you do it for me, Samuel?
Of course. I'll set off straight away.
No, please do not go in the middle of the night. It will be better to go in the morning.
I don't mind traveling at night, and it is best that I go as soon as possible.
Are you certain?
The sooner I find out something, the better.
All right, then. But please take care of yourself, will you, Samuel?
You needn't worry. I must go to Ashbury and figure out what happened. Victoria, I found a letter in which James writes to William. He addresses him as Dear Father. So who is James, in fact?
Oh, well, it does not matter anymore anyway. It is true, Samuel. James is William's illegitimate son. I could not tell you before when you showed me that picture. I didn't want anyone to know. This secret must be buried along with William.
I understand.
Would you please excuse me now, Samuel?
I don't want to upset Victoria. I'll talk to her.
Do you need anything, sir?
I set off for Ashbury to find out why Robert hadn't returned yet. Someone has to know something about him there. The Ashbury Sanatorium.
The place of laments, as William used to call it. The main gate is locked for the night. Locked. Locked.
Hello?
I know this is an awkward hour, but can you let me in? I would like to visit one of the patients.
We do not allow anyone in at this time. I'm sorry. You will have to come during regular visiting hours.
Tomorrow will be too late. Please, let me in and I'll explain everything.
Oh, are you a doctor?
No, I'm not.
Who have you come to visit then, in the middle of the night?
I've come because of Robert Gordon. He is the director here.
Yes, I happen to know who's director here, Mr.
Samuel Gordon. I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself.
Very well then. I'll make an exception, Mr. Gordon. Push the gate open when you hear the buzzer and go straight to the main entrance. I will be expecting you in the lobby.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me in.
Well, I would not have let you in if you weren't a relative of the head doctor.
Yes, actually, he is what I'm here about. You see, he hasn't shown up for a couple of days now, and I was hoping you might know something.
I'm afraid I will have to disappoint you then. He left the sanatorium the day before yesterday, late at night, and has not turned up again since.
Are you sure?
Of course. I have been on duty every day.
What time did he leave?
Around midnight, I believe. He always leaves quite late. He has had a lot of work to do lately.
Did he mention where he was going, or say anything unusual?
Give me a minute. No, I don't recall him saying anything special. In fact, he was very tired. Just said goodnight and left.
I would like to visit a patient named James. Can you show me to his cell?
No, that's not possible, Mr. Gordon.
Can't you let me in?
Unfortunately, you will not be able to visit him, no matter what I could or could not do.
I don't understand.
Don't you know? James escaped the night before yesterday. I thought someone had told you.
No, I didn't know. How did he escape?
He must have gotten into the sewer system under the building. It should have occurred to me that he might do something like this.
Why? Did he say something to you?
Yes, I spoke to him the day before. He seemed much more anxious than usual. But there was more to it. I don't know if I can tell you. It is a delicate situation.
Please speak. It might be important. Maybe it will shed some light on the whole matter with Robert.
Do you think it may be related?
I don't have a clue. Please tell me what you know.
All right. James was more anxious than usual, as I said. It was hard to understand what he was trying to tell me, but it was the head doctor that he was speaking about. He said he knew something important, but he could not tell anyone what it was.
Did he say what it was exactly?
No. It seemed to me that he was afraid to talk. He kept asking me to put in a word for him with one of the doctors so he could go home. But he insisted that I not mention it to the head doctor. He acted quite desperate, so I promised I would help him.
What happened then?
Well, James does tend to be very moody, but I would not say that he is dangerous. I have known him for years now, and most of the time he's made very little trouble. So I went to the head doctor to ask him for a temporary leave permit for James.
But you said he didn't want Robert to know.
I had to promise that, but without the signature of the head doctor, no patient can leave this place. He didn't agree, though, and defended his opinion quite firmly. It seemed rather strange to me. Such rigidity, I mean.
Did you speak with James after that?
No, I didn't want to further disconcert him. And the next day, he escaped. I cannot tell you anything more. I have no idea why he wanted to go back home so suddenly.
You have been quite helpful. Thank you. Why would James want to get away so desperately and suddenly? And why didn't Robert allow him to return to the castle? It seems to me that these things are related somehow. That's all. Thanks. I have no idea what we could talk about. A young woman. She looks nice. A young woman. This is the way to the patient's cells. No one is allowed to go there at night. The nurse won't let me go to the cells this late at night. I've got to find another way inside. I can't open it. She would see me. I cannot do it right now. I can't. It's full of clean water. The water in it will be pretty cold. The water in it will... The Gordon symbol. I won't be digging in that trash. It's mostly old papers. Terrible weather. A sewer. Maybe the main output of the ventilation system of the building. A few beer bottles, old containers, and rusty cans. Just rubbish. A syringe. Looks quite clean.
Who the hell is that? Nurse, is that you again? I'm heating the place like I'm supposed to. Not one of those crackpots of yours is freezing. Don't you worry. The boiler is running full blast, so leave me alone.
This is Samuel Gordon. Can you open the door?
Who?
I'd just like to ask you about something.
Yeah? What do you want from me?
My Uncle Robert runs this institution. Can you let me in?
I couldn't care less about who's running this booby hatch. I don't belong to the doctor bunch, and I don't have to obey old Gordon. Give me a break and mind your own business.
All right, but I just need to find something out. Then I'll be gone.
Oh well, okay, what do you want?
It seems to be quite hot inside. Are you heating at full power?
There's no other way when the weather's like this. I'll sit here the whole day and night in this awful heat.
Well, you can turn it down a little, can't you?
Impossible. They've just installed this new regulator. It takes care of maintaining the right temperature by itself. If it could also do the shoveling for me, I'd have one less thing to worry about.
So why don't you just leave the door open?
Well, that's another problem. I don't want the nurse checking up on me. She comes by to have a peek inside here from time to time to see whether I'm asleep or something. When the door is closed, I can cool myself down with beer whenever I want.
I see. Have you seen Dr. Gordon recently?
No, I haven't. I'm closed. Nobody ever comes round here anyway, except the head nurse. I last saw him about a month or so ago. Yeah, last month. It was Thursday, I think. No, not after that. But you said you were his nephew, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, then it's you who should know where he is.
What do you know about the runaway patient?
There was a lot of confusion about his escape here. Haven't a clue why they made so much fuss over one silly loony.
That loony is a member of my family. He may be disturbed, but he's no fool.
Oh, I'm sorry. How could I know that you were related?
Now, why I asked. You know this place well, right?
Sure. I've worked here for some years now.
If you wanted to get outside, how would you do it?
Listen, these are some odd questions, you know. Aren't you an inspector or something like that?
You think inspections are carried out at midnight? So how does one escape out of a locked cell?
Well, I have no idea why you're interested in this, but I don't think there's a simple way out. Maybe from the hall, into the sewers under the building. Other than that, I don't know. If you manage to get that far, the rest wouldn't be a problem. The sewer has several openings that nobody's watching. Why are you asking anyway?
I'm just considering all the alternatives.
Right.
I have to see the cell from the inside. If it's impossible to get out, as everyone says, how could James have escaped without someone having helped him? But who could have helped him? That nurse, maybe. Or Robert himself. Robert's disappearance is surely connected with James somehow. I won't be keeping you any longer.
Good. Mind your own business. I've got no time.
Old junk destroyed by wind and rain. There's no point messing with it. A few bottles of beer. The labels are not very damp. The bottles haven't been out long. 10-degree lager. 10-degree... It's dirty, but not broken. I'll have a look. This must be the thermostat regulating the temperature of the ventilation. I can't see any controls on it. It's probably entirely automatic. It's probably It's holding firmly to the masonry. Can't move. It's holding firmly.
The middle rod seems to be loose. Maybe I could pull it out somehow. It won't move. I have to loosen the grip that's holding it. Can't do this. It won't move. Can't. A coal bucket. It's empty. A heap of damp coal. It would still burn well in a strong fire. Everyone who died within the walls of the sanatorium rests here. A gloomy place. It hides a few flickering candles from the rain. The metal doors have no locks to prevent just anyone from entering. There's no name on it. The resting place of someone of a noble family. The grate ends in stone. I cannot see any lock. The grate cannot... Strong concentrated acid. I can't go back yet.
May I speak with you?
Sure.
Can you tell me anything about the sanatorium graveyard?
I have worked here for almost 12 years now, and I know next to nothing about it.
Has it always belonged to the sanatorium?
As far as I know, it has. We no longer use it for burying, but it would have served its purpose in the past. Many patients would spend their whole life here, and when their time came, they would be buried at the back of the sanatorium. But that was a long time before I started here. I do not know much else about that place.
That's all. Thanks.
A young woman.
There's no...
It's probably entirely... It's probably... Ten degree...
You again?
May I speak with you? I see you have a decent supply of beer. What if the head nurse saw those bottles?
No big deal. You can see them outside. As long as she doesn't...
What do you know about the graveyard at the back of the sanatorium?
Well, it's a graveyard.
Do they bury patients there?
Nah, not anymore. But I wouldn't go there if I were you. Especially not now. I'm no coward. But one never knows what can happen.
What do you think I should be afraid of?
No graveyard is suitable for a midnight walk. Especially not this one. You have any idea who all's lying there? Lunatics, maniacs, madmen. You name their twist, they're there. But why am I telling you this anyway? Go where you like.
I won't be keeping you any longer.
Good.
Degree...
It seems firm enough.
What the heck are you doing, man? Get away from that window!
It's holding. Can't do that. I can't reach it. I can't. I. I can't. There's quite a lot. I can't. $10.
Mind your own business.
It's dirty, but not broken. May I speak?
Sure.
I need a little time here without being watched. Could you possibly do me a favor? I'd like to make a call to the manor to check if anything has changed regarding Robert. If you could show me where the phone is.
I'm sorry, I can't let you inside. But I could call myself.
Right. Here's the number then.
I do not need it. It is in the internal phone book. Wait here.
All right, I need to do this quickly before she returns.
The label doesn't ring a bell. The cabinet is locked. I haven't. The cabinet is. It has a slot of some kind at the bottom. It has a slot. The water in it will be pretty cold. It has a slot of some kind. The nurse will be back any... I shouldn't go outside. The nurse will be back. I have the cabinet. I have. It has a slot of some kind at the bottom. I shouldn't go. I should. The net. The coin fits in the groove at the bottom. A little key was hidden there. A tiny key. It was hidden. Cantropin diminishes headaches. I still have enough of my own pills. Some drops. Not really what I'm looking for. Bephenol. I have no idea what it's good for. Maybe a relaxant, who knows? A strong sedative will put a person to sleep for a whole day.
It took a while. No one was answering the phone this late.
No problem. Did you learn anything about Robert?
Unfortunately, Mr. Gordon has not returned yet.
I see. Thank you for your time.
You are quite welcome. It was nothing.
That's all. Thanks.
A strong sedative. I spilt a little, but the syringe is full of sedative now. I filled it up to the brim with a sedative. I'll go with full dose so it kicks in fast. Now, get him to drink it. I can't... I'll leave him alone. I'll leave him. I'll leave him alone. strong, concentrated act. We have said every... I soaked it in cold water. It should be possible to confuse the sensor of the thermostat with cold water. The temperature inside will rise noticeably for a while. I'll leave him alone. I've got to wait a little until the sedative kicks in. I've got to wait. Mustn't make much noise. I could wake him up. The sedative in the beer did the trick. Hopefully, he won't wake up before I make it inside. The sedative in the beer. He's sleeping like a rock. He's sleeping. It's not locked, but I can't open it while he's leaning on it. Don't want to wake him up. An intense heat is coming out of it. This place is very hot. A large heap of coal. The building consumes a lot of heat. Black coal. Nothing else. Black coal. There's something buried between the coal fragments. A dirty, rough rag doll. A strong, sharp thread. Main switchboard. I had better not touch it. Nothing. It's not connected. Something's missing here. Something's... I can't see any lock. It probably can be opened using the dial on that panel. I can't s- There's an intercom system installed in the building. I don't know what message to broadcast. I don't know what... Lots of old leaflets, posters, and newspaper pages. Work schedule of that sooty bully. He's off duty for a while now. Messenger of the Gods. Sounds familiar. I wonder what door it opens. I'll take it. It's certainly going to be useful.